Before we dive into how to use Google Slides, let's first talk about what it is and why we should use it. Google Slides is a presentation software within Google Drive that lets you create both professional and personal slideshows. There are many benefits to using it, and the first one is the fact that it is a free and easily accessible application. Anyone with an internet connection is able to use it regardless of the computer platform or the device they use. This makes it really convenient to work on the go. Next up is its simple user interface. Google Slides is essentially Microsoft PowerPoint, but with the side of simplicity, making it really easy to learn and use. Despite the simpler UI, Google Slides still supports all the features necessary to make a visually appealing slide deck. You can easily edit the master, insert images, customize diagrams, import slideshows from other presentation softwares, and etc. The next benefit is its collaboration feature. With Google Slides, you are able to work and view the same document with numerous other people at the same time. While it can be difficult to find a time when everyone is free to meet up and work, Google Slides actually gives you the ability to do everything online from the comfort of your own home. Next up is the fact that everything that you do on Google Drive auto-saves and syncs. This means every edit that you make is automatically saved. This way, you don't have to worry about your computer crashing and you losing all your hard work. Since it automatically saves everything, you are also able to view the edit history, giving you the ability to revert back to an earlier version of the presentation at any time. Now, let's talk about auto-syncing. This feature is what makes collaborating so easy. Every time you make an edit, everyone else on the slide can see your edit in real time. This way, it would be as if you are physically working next to your coworker. The auto-saving and the auto-syncing also lets you work offline. Even if there is no internet connection, you can still work on your presentation and not be afraid of all your work disappearing, since Google Slides will automatically sync everything once you are connected again. And last but not least, we have the fact that it is safe and secure. What I mean by this is that you are able to determine who can view your slides, as well as how they can view it. If you don't give a person the permission to view your presentation, they won't be able to access it. You can also choose how they can view it. Just viewing, commenting and suggesting, or editing. So if you let a person view your slide, that means they can't physically make any changes to your presentation. They can simply just see it. Now that we know what Google Slides is, let's learn how to use it to make some visually appealing slideshows. In this video, I will be showing you how to set up a Google Slides presentation. I always like to start off at the Google Drive interface because it is the main frame and it gives you access to the majority of the Google apps. Now, to open up Slides, go ahead and click on New. And if you drop down to the second to last option, you will see Google Slides. If you hover your cursor above the arrow to the right, you will get a pop-up that lets you choose to start from either a blank presentation or from a template. If you click on From a Template, it will open up a template gallery in a new window. So all of these are all editable, pre-made PowerPoints for you to take advantage of and customize. And they have a really large range that goes from recipe books to consulting proposals to even book reports. However, I usually like to start from a blank presentation so that way I can have full creative liberty over everything. And if you're like me, we can just exit out of this template gallery and head back to Google Drive. So once again, we will click on New, and this time we can just simply click on Google Slides. And once it's done loading, you will get a blank presentation with a title slide already on it. Now, don't forget to title your presentation so that way it will be easy to find later on. For this demonstration, I will actually be creating a presentation around the movie Ratatouille. So, to name my presentation, I will click on Untitled Presentation and just type in Ratatouille. Okay, now that we have set up our presentation, in our next video, we will talk a little bit more about this right side themes column, as well as how to insert a new background. The way our presentation looks right now is actually a little bit too boring and bland for my taste. So I actually like to go in and add in some colors by adding in a theme. A theme is a set of predetermined colors, fonts, and sizes that Google Slide provides. So some of my favorite go-to themes are this coral one, this modern writer, and this tropic one. But since we are doing a presentation on Ratatouille, I think that this game day theme would actually fit our presentation better. So to apply a theme, simply click on it and it will be applied. Once the template is added, we can go ahead and exit out and simply follow the instructions by clicking to add your title and subtitle. Okay, well, as you can see, even after applying our theme, the title slide is still sort of meh and like bland. Now we can either come in and add in some pictures, or we can take it one step further by adding in a background. To do that, we will go over to this backgrounds and we can change our white background to any of these colors. So this top part is actually just our basic color spectrum and their corresponding gradient. And this bottom one is our color palette that is specific to the theme that you chose. Now, if you don't like any of these colors, you can actually go ahead and add in your own custom colors by clicking on this plus button. Here, you can enter a specific color code and it would be applied. So, let's say I just want this simple light blue. Once you click done, it will be applied. Let's say that this still wasn't enough for us, and we want to take it one step further by going ahead and adding a background image. That's also really easy. We will just go back and click on background, and this time instead of color, we will go down to image. So click on choose image, and you will have the option to insert the background image via upload by taking a picture using your camera, by URL, or inserting it via Google Photos or Google Drive, or just finding it using Google Image Search. I actually have a photo already ready on my computer, so I will click on Browse and look for my photo. Here it is, and I will click on Open, and once it's done, it will be applied. Here you can see what the power of a theme and background can do. Now I will go ahead and change the positionings and sizes as I see fit. So just because your theme came with preset fonts and sizes doesn't mean that you are limited to those. So go ahead and make your edits so that your new title slide will fit the picture better. Alright, this is my new and improved title slide. I think that this will definitely get the attention of the audience much better than the plain white one that we started with. If you don't want to start from a blank presentation or can't find a Google Slides template that fits your presentation needs, you should check out these two websites. So first up, we have Slides Go, and the second one is Slides Carnival. Both of these have endless amounts of free, stunning looking templates that can help boost your presentation. So look through it to see if there are any specific templates that you like or that fit your presentation perfectly. And once you find one that you like, you can click on it and select Use a Google Slides theme. This will then make a copy of the template on Google Slides where you can go in and edit it. So SlidesGo and Slides Carnival are both great resources to look through. Whenever I make a presentation, I like to have a color palette ready. If you are using a Google Slides theme, there is already a color palette created for you. But if you don't like those colors, or if you are starting from a blank presentation, you should check out colors.co. This website makes it really easy to create a color palette. So let's wait for it to load. And every time you hit the spacebar, it will generate 5 new colors. When you find a color that you like, let's say I like this red one, you would go hover above it and click on the lock icon. Now that color will be locked and you can keep on hitting the spacebar and locking colors until you find a color palette that you like. Once you have your color scheme, you would just go ahead and remember the color code and input it into the custom section of your color palette. Now, let's say that you don't just want to have random colors that go well, but you instead have a specific color scheme in mind. You can go up to this camera icon and upload an image of the picture that has the colors that you want to have included in your presentation. So I will open up my image. Now, once you uploaded the image, you can use the dropper tool to pinpoint the specific colors that you want on that image. So if you are making a presentation for a client or a company, you can upload their logo here and get their specific branding colors. And then add those custom color codes to your palette. Not only does having a color palette look more visually appealing, but it also shows your client that you took the time and the effort to cater your presentation towards them. Now that you know how to add backgrounds, coolbackgrounds.io could be a nice place for you to visit. So here we have a bunch of really cool looking backgrounds for you to choose from. And like a lot of these options are really pretty. But let's just go back to the triangle one really quick. Let's say that I really like this triangle one. I can actually go ahead and customize it by clicking on this arrow and going to more options. Here we can choose the color pattern, as well as the pattern intensity, the triangle variance, as well as the cell size. Now, while they have color palettes for you to choose from, if you already have one in mind from colors.co, you can go over to custom, click on this, click on the colors, and input your specific color code, and it will help create your new background. Now, I myself mostly stick to images and patterns that I find on Google Images, but I just wanted to show that this is a great website to turn to for background resources. Now that we have our title slide established, let's talk about the different layout options that Google Slide offers. To see the layout options, go to this arrow button right next to the plus symbol. Here we have a drop down of the different layouts that are offered. And depending on the theme that you chose, the layout colors, fonts, and positionings can be slightly different, but they will all have the same purpose and they will all work the same way. A layout is just a basic way that your text and images are arranged. I typically only use this title and body layout, but depending on your presentation, what it's about, and the direction that you want to take it, you can choose your layouts accordingly. Google Slides also realizes that this title and body layout is one of the most used one, so they created a shortcut for it where you can just simply click on this plus button and it will insert a new slide with a title and body. So I will go ahead and fill this out now. Now, Google Slides actually learns and follows your movements. What I mean by this is that this plus button actually will add another layout of the specific layout that you are currently on. So, for example, if I go ahead to this arrow and choose to add a main point slide, and since I am now on the slide, when I click on this new slide plus button, it will add another main point slide. But if I go back to my title and body slide and I click on this new button again, it will input a title and body slide. Now that we know how layouts work, you can just continue adding new slides and filling them out with the appropriate information until you have reached the end of your PowerPoint. To finish off our section on Google Drive Basics, we will talk about how to organize and arrange your presentation. So let's say that you put together a presentation only to find out that you made a mistake in the slide order. As you can see, we have slides 1, then 3, and then 2. To fix our ordering mistake, just click on the slide that you want to move and drag it to where you want it to be. Now our slides correctly reads slides 1, then 2, and then 3. If you realize that you don't want a slide anymore, click on the slide that you want to delete and hit either the delete or the backspace key, and it will be gone. If you want to make a copy of the slide, click on the slide that you want to make a copy of, right-click, and go to Duplicate Slide. Now, as you can see, we will have 2 copies of slide number 2. And this is how easy organizing slides on Google Slides is.